bit about us, how we met, and why we call ourselves the billionaires of life. And I also want to let you guys know every single person in this room is a billionaire of love. If you've ever experienced that sensation of pure appreciation for anything, whether it's a sunset, whether it's an animal that you adore, whether it's an experience that you had, you're already a billionaire of love. And I'm just going to help you to tap into that gold mine a little more today so that you can feel that too. So here's our little story. Once upon a time, that's right. Once upon a time, there was a child who believed in happily ever after. She grew up in the fairy tale kingdom of Brooklyn, New York. And that's right. And every year, my mom and I would go to Disney in Orlando, Florida. And of course, it was all dreams come true. You can have anything you want. Prince Charming, etc., and all the movies. And I was like, that's what I want. Yes. Fast forward to teenage years, started dating. Different story. Fast forward to beyond that. More interesting experiences. And just like all of us, every person in this room, I had my experiences that were not the most possible fun. And so that initial idea of having that kind of timeless connection with another human being, that it feels magical and blessed. Unfortunately, some of that started to fade. So I started practicing resistance because of what was in my life at that time. Well, are you kidding? And on top of it all, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a very intense person. I'm very intense, I'm very focused. Whatever it is that I'm doing, especially whether I'm working on music, whether I'm working on the next book, whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm here. That means everybody else in the world is not existing for me at that moment. And honestly, because of my experiences at that time in my life, I was told that there's no way that anyone could love someone like me. Because I'm not willing to step away from what I'm focusing on. And I'm not willing to do all of those things that all the books tell you that you're supposed to do. So at one point I made up my mind, it's like, I just don't know if it's gonna happen. And so for me, I had a final catalytic moment, that one last relationship that pissed me off. And I said at that point, that's it. I am done. You know what? I am cool with being by myself, doing my own thing. I'm an adult and can have adult-oriented relationships if I want to. But you know what? I'm done. It's all good. Period. And I made that decision. And even though in that time of my life, I thought that I was giving up on my dream, and actually what I did was I gave up the resistance to my dream. Because now it didn't have to happen for me to be okay. I made peace with my life as it was right then and there, and decided that right here, right now is perfect. And so, in that process, John and I had actually known each other for 2 years. And I'll let him tell you about how we actually met. And he had been and become literally my best friend in the whole universe. And when we first met, okay, I'm going to steal your thunder just a little bit. When we first met, just before we had met, I had just ended a relationship with a musician that I was working with, had worked with for a couple of years. He was on the stage with me. And I had just started dating a new gentleman who was out in the audience. And before all of that, there was some tumultuous kind of stuff going on. And so I looked in the mirror, and then I went outside and demanded to the heavens, I want my soulmate and I want him now! Now! Well, I'm on stage performing. Back then, I was actually with a hard rock band doing bike nights. You can imagine that. Little shiny boots and all that stuff, little Journey or Foreigner and all the cool classic rock kind of stuff. I'm literally standing on a table, belting the song out. And in that moment, I was in that space of love and connection and just feeling so much joy and so much fun for what I was doing. And somehow, I don't know how I did this while I was singing, I was thinking in my head, how can it get any better than this? Life is good. This is okay. This is calm down. This is working out great. I feel like a sexy hot mama. This is good. Well, I'm looking this way. And then all of a sudden, for no reason, I turned that way. And there he is. He's in the same spot even. Oh my goodness. And there was this man that I recognized. Of course, I hadn't met him, but I recognized him immediately. And I won't tell you the exact word that I thought in my head because we're recording today, but basically the idea was, oh no, what are you doing here now? What did I just say a few minutes ago? I want my soulmate, I want it now! So here he is. And guess what? I couldn't do anything with him. Ex here, still working, brand new boyfriend here. I wasn't ready. I wasn't in that space. So, but fortunately, because we were both in that place of love and both in that place of appreciation, we were able to connect through the music. And John became a fan. Later on, I called him my stalker. And it just evolved from there until I think he was probably ready for me. I think I still had some stuff I had to work on before I was ready for him, which is why it took 2 years for us. But because of where we were in that high vibration, that high attitude place of love. That's how we were able to meet each other. And the way that it went down was just, it was perfect. And fast forward to today, we celebrated 11 years of marriage in September. And we've been best friends for almost 15 years now as well. Yeah. And that's where it's, and really that's where it, that's the best foundation there is when it comes to relationships. So I'm going to let him share his perspective.
So, once upon a time, anyway, I don't know that part. Doing that for a minute, but anyway, I started out with, and can you hear me okay?
Project, darling, project.
Okay, how about this? Anyway, just, should I hold it up here? Okay.
There you go.
I don't use one of these, I use that back there.
And by the way, I want to sing my sweetheart's praises. There was a time in his life, and not even that long ago, that he would be hiding underneath that sheet in the corner. He would, and actually when we would have like friends come over and we'd have group discussions about different things, he'd be in his office all night. He didn't even want to come out and talk to the people. He was terrified of the people. And because he decided that it was time for him to step into his power and his talent and his joy, you're getting to see him. And he also created a special gift just for you guys. Last night, we were talking about music to use for a meditation that we're going to share with you today. We have a billion zillion CDs. And John plays multiple instruments, one of which is Native American flute. And so he said, ooh, I've got an idea. So he wrote you a Native American flute piece last night. So can put your hands together.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyway,
proceed.
to continue. I started out with the whole, going through high school, then heading off into into junior college and meeting someone who, seemed like, wow, this is really great. Actually never been with a girl before then. So when I did, it was like, oh, this must be love. We're going to be together forever. We ended up getting married. We had a couple of girls. We're together for 8 years. We're still great friends, but we were more like brother and sister. I was like, this is boring. So when she finally got smart enough to say, okay, I want more out of life, we got divorced, stayed friends and everything. I went back out into that scary dating world and basically almost repeated the idea of finding someone right away and thinking, oh, I've got to get married. And so that only lasted about 3 years because, she grew up. She was kind of younger and didn't really know what she wanted. But again, got 2 more beautiful children, so I have four children. And then after that, it's like, okay, I'm not going to even date for a while. So it was a couple of years before I even dated. Then I figured out that what I have become after that was a way for girls to get back together with their ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, whatever.
Dr. John,
yeah,
St. John, yes.
I'd go out with them and I could see and feel how much they still cared about the previous person. And there's a part of me just has to always be fair and honest. And so I kind of was a counselor and helped them get back. And it was like, okay, well, this is crazy. So after several of those, I finally said, okay, that's it. I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I don't care. I can just talk to people. I can do, whatever. I can just be friends with people. I don't need a girlfriend, a wife, but any of that stuff. The romantic stuff, forget it. Because if I can't have what I felt in my heart was absolute true love, the fairy tale. I wanted the happily ever after.
Okay, I have to interject. Now, you heard the original beginning story, right? All right? Well, when we were just buds, and we were talking on the phone about this stuff, just like he's telling you, this is what we were talking about on the phone. And I heard this man, a heterosexual male, say to me,
I want the happily ever after, or nothing at all.
I want the fairy tale. I said, you know what? Some woman is going to be so fortunate to hook up with you.
Inspire